Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. 14th of February, 2013 in London. Hi, my name's Ray. This is pretty rare for February, I must admit, that I'm just able to sit here and soak in the rays. Ray of light, Ray de Monde, that's me. Yeah, this is effectively, excuse me, forgive me. This is effectively one of a series of videos that I'm putting together for my online communication that I'm wanting to share with those who are interested, and particularly those who are interested in a number of things. I do an online business, internet marketing, as well as sometimes I do some coaching, and I'm also, within all that, I do my own personal development. So I'm always exploring and on my journey in life, trying to basically develop myself personally. And a lot of what that is connecting with the inner self and inner power, and that's a personal journey of mine. And I know that there are many people out there, and anybody who has been successful in their businesses and in their life and in many things know that that kind of level of development and those kinds of things, particularly up here as well as in here, are absolutely key and vital to the success of any areas of your life that you want. So speaking of success, an interesting point that came up in a discussion recently is the whole issue of fake it to make it. What does that mean? I mean, fake it to make it. No, we're not talking about, behind closed doors. I mean, none of that. But fake it to make it. It's a kind of a notion of almost just do it. The idea is, from my understanding, don't get me wrong, is we're not talking about faking it in the sense of, being an imposter or being disingenuine or being fake, really, in that regard, as in, not real and dishonest. That's not what really this is all about. It's a case of kind of walking the talk, and if one is going through transition or transformation, walking a new level of talk or a new type of thinking or a new kind of journey that one is hoping to redirect themselves. Maybe you've been caught up in an aspect of your life that was extremely unpleasant, that was extremely disempowering, that was tragic, that was, or is even, really, really challenging. This requires that we reassess, that we kind of go through a major inner journey and introspection. However, there also comes a point of where we can kind of get caught up in analysis paralysis, as often is the case, where it's important to remain true to ourselves. However, often one of the reasons, if you look around, the kind of the life that you may be living is a result of the kind of thinking that you've effectively been going through up until now. So if you've got the results and the lifestyle that you really want, then you've been doing something right for you and those around you. That's great. However, the majority of the people are challenged with something that those who are aspirational means that they want more than what they've already got. Now, aspiration is a funny word, but ambition is too, and we're taught to be ambitious. However, sometimes that's also a case of being something that we're not, and so we can often get veered off track through our education or through socialization, through our families, to go out there and be the things that we're not. I mean, there are people out there whose families want them to be doctors, lawyers, businessmen of various types, when in fact all they want to be is maybe teachers, coaches, online business people, construction workers, business owners, and entrepreneurs in their own right. And there's a conflict, because of the expectations around them, and then of course those get ingrained and become internalized, and then become the expectations of themselves, and there may be a conflict, and then they're incongruent with that, and there's a misalignment, and then there's basically misery. And with that, unfortunately, the perpetual cycle of misery loves company, and the downward spiral of not being true to oneself, one effectively feeds on the other, and then it's a tough cycle to break. And that's, I think, where this fake it to make it is that if the awareness and the desire and the understanding of that there's more to life than what maybe one is doing, or there is a desire to change things, major change. I mean, it can be quite radical. Or there's an event in one's life that really causes them to stop and reassess. It could be, facing death, facing one's mortality, which hopefully one is not coming up with those types of regrets and questions when they're at their end of their life. Why not, as someone said, Justin in Varengia, I said, why not live the life that you don't want to escape? Live the life that you want to live fully. And that can be quite challenging for many, many people. So the idea of faking it to make it is that if you want to be successful and you want to be, to have other things happen and manifest into your life, you have to start talking the language of that success or that intention or that desire or that passion, and to do it passionately. And so when you say walk your talk, is walk and act, behave, talk, as well as hang around those people that are in fact successful and learn from them. Get rid of the ego. Really allow yourself to be open and accessible and available to something else than what you already know. As Justin also likes to say, empty your cup and let it be filled up with something that is far more connected to what it is that you want. So faking it to make it is in my idea, anyway, the way I see it, in this context anyway, is that if you can kind of behave and believe that success is yours and the lifestyle that you want is yours, and you can continuously kind of reaffirm that and do the things that almost look like and feel like and are like someone who is successful. And we're not talking about going out and blowing your credit card and going out there and talking numbers bigger than they are and talking about things that you haven't actually done. That's disingenuous. But to really kind of walk tall, to glide in your stride, to find that stride. And in order to do that, you need to either practice it or retrain the mind to look for it, to go after it, because it's effectively what having the right mindset does. If you ever ask yourself, why is it that people who are fantastic, what is it about them that they attract these things? It's because they're available to them, because they're of that language, because they're of that cloth, because they're of that vibration. And so faking it to make it is effectively, it's a retraining of oneself and being, one's mind, one's focus, the things that one's drawn to, the things that are magnetized, the things that are magnified, the value of things positive and successful, as opposed to, the kind of the piteous type, woe is me, why does everything happen to me, why is this shit, and all that kind of stuff. That's not going to attract anything. So if you want to spin that around, you have to retrain, refocus the mind, to refocus the language, to refocus the behavior, your state of being. And if it's a case of where it hasn't quite happened yet, then, study those that are doing it and see how that works. And that's a start. There's many other things in the areas of life that one can do. One can, do, meditation's key. People who basically, that's just kind of sitting still and just letting be and allowing one's kind of power to breathe and their source of energy to breathe, as opposed to constantly driving and doing and never connecting and always being noisy and always being just busy and overwhelmed, but might not necessarily be that walk and that vibration that's yours, it's somebody else's. So to get back to yourself, there are things like sitting still, things like reading the books, things like focusing and setting one's intention, having goals, studying those people who are doing it the way you, or the kind of why after all, why invent the wheel? If it's already being done, why not do the things and follow along, kind of like not copycatting per se, because you will have your own element to it, but identifying an alternative that you are aligned with, that will serve you and empower you in the ways that you are that you want in your life, so that you can actually have that experience of living here in your life before you hit the end of it and go, man, I've just got regret. Who the hell wants that? So on that note, get out there and go for it. I highly recommend connecting with Dave and Dave, the community, for those to get empowered, because there are many people who are out there doing it. And because sometimes going it alone is not easy. So if there's ever a group of people that you feel that you would like to connect who are doing it, they're out there. Just just seek them out, and you shall find. So go on there, fake it as in retrain, refocus, regroup, and redirect. And it's all about taking action. So on that note, I'll see you out there, and we'll see you on those roads, crossroads in the journey of life. Thanks. Bye.